Well, good evening, everybody. How's it going? This is just a short addendum to the location menu in JMRI. So I wanted to, once I started getting into it, I found out a couple things that might be useful information to you. So like I said, we're all learning together on this one, but I thought that this would be something that you really should know. And so what I'm going to do is go over the menu here. I'm in my location menu, as you can see. And I wanted to specifically look at my yard, okay? So in my previous video on setting up locations, I was talking to you about these check boxes up here. And once again, my trains only travel north-south. There was an option in the settings if you want to do them east-west as well. So you could either have east-west or north-south or one of, a combination. But for the yard, I had said I leave these unchecked because I wanted the local switcher to handle my yard work. Well, that's not exactly how they're used, okay? So I found out in setting up some other things that I had to go back and look at these boxes again and recheck them. Okay, so I checked them because the way it works in JMRI is if you want to use a local switcher, yes, you would leave these unchecked. The problem is if you do that in a yard where you're building trains, your train can't be built from any of the existing cars that are in the yard. So that's not a good thing. So it wouldn't allow you to build a train from cars in the yard because you were saying that train doesn't, that location is not serviced by any trains. So here's what I did. I did check these, and I went back into each of my tracks and made sure that they were checked. And so now I can build a train based on what's in the yard. Now, when you would want to leave these unchecked, and there still is a scenario where you would want to leave them unchecked, and what that would be someplace like my paper mill. Now, I'm not going to do this to my paper mill, but you could do this to your paper mill. So I'm just going to open up the paper mill. All right, so you see my paper mill tracks here. I have my tracks on this side that allow you to come and pick up and set out various cars from your train. So if I had a switcher, though, that worked the 4 tracks down at that end, you can see my 4 tracks down there, and then my 2 tracks in my wood yard here. If I had a switcher that worked those and that's all it did, I would want to leave these boxes unchecked or checked for this track 14 and 15 here, because my trains would pick up cars from track 14 and 15. But when I go into the other tracks, track 16, track 17, I would want to leave them unchecked because I have my local switcher working those tracks. And what would happen is the switcher would put anything then on 14 and 15 to leave for a train, a local or manifest freight or something to come by and pick up. Therefore, the manifest freight would never be working the tracks down at that end, or these 2 woodyard tracks. It would only be working 14 and 15 right here, picking up cars from those 2 tracks. So that is when you would want to leave north and south unchecked. If there was a set of tracks where nothing but a local switcher worked them. Okay. So there is a scenario for that. However, like I said, in the yard, that's just not possible because then it won't build any trains from the yard for your freights and things like that. So I just wanted to make that clear to everyone because, like I said, that's something I learned as I went through the program a little deeper. I hope you enjoyed this little update, and I hope you keep it in mind when you're setting things up. So we will be talking to you later. Thanks.